Unless you got a question. What's up, guys?
Hey.
Sorry about that. Lifestyle investing, where we invest based off our lifestyle to build a future lifestyle. Mike's myself, Mr. Farnsworth's in the building. I got a question, man. So,
No prep.
yeah. So I see Steven as a wise guy, right?
Like a smart ass?
No.
Otherwise,
Or like a mafia wise guy, like
Okay,
boom,
yeah.
Chicago.
Like a clown?
Yeah. So let's say, because you talked a little bit about being like frugal and things like that, and then kind of like your style of investing and whatnot, which I love it. I think it's great for the mass majority of people. I think that's the way to do it. So what would you recommend for someone that, doesn't have much money?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they're about to graduate high school, maybe they're starting out college.
Yeah.
I mean, what would you say to them?
To start.
Yeah, to start.
I mean, I would say...
Should they even start investing?
Oh, yeah. Because the earlier you start, the more you'll make. I mean, if you start... this is a story that you can read online easily, too, but this is statistically accurate, that if you start, let's say, investing when you're 25, you put $3,000 in the market every year for 10 years, so 25 to 34, okay?
Mm-hmm.
That's situation one. Situation two, you're 35, and for the next 30 years, you put $3,000 in every year. So you've put in the first situation, you put 30 grand in over 10 years at a young age. Second situation, from 35 to 64, you've put in actually $90,000. So you've put in triple the amount of money, but just 10 years later. Who do you think has more money?
First guy.
Because you're asking the question. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
kind
of course. It's a leading question.
Yeah.
Based on the way the markets work,
Yeah,
99% of
yeah.
scenarios, the person in situation one has more money, even though they've put in a third of the money. It's only because they've done it, 10 years earlier. It's crazy. I mean, it's honestly crazy.
Yeah.
And so what I would say to your question earlier is, no matter how young you are, you need to find some way to start socking away like a little bit of money at a time, like just small amounts.
Yeah.
Find some way to do it. So for anyone who's young and doesn't have a lot of money, find any and every way to live below your means. And that's just a big mantra in my life. I will always be rich if I spend less than I make. I will always be able to live a good lifestyle if I just choose to live my life that way. I will always spend less than I make. And so I do that to an extreme so that it will get me to a spot when I'm 35 or 40 when I'm very comfortable. And because right now I could quadruple my lifestyle. I could quadruple the amount of money I spend in a year and I'd still have money left over.
Mm-hmm.
And that would be, I can't even imagine quadrupling my lifestyle 4 times, in terms of spending money. But I could make that work and I'd be fine, but I just don't need to. And so that's to anyone. I would say just find any possible way to cut little things out of your lifestyle so you can save some money on the side.
So I think a key thing too is you got to determine your why. So why do you live so far beneath your needs?
Yeah.
Right? Do you like looking at your bank account and be like, oh, I got a ton of money?
I do like seeing that's definitely a
What was the seed? What happened?
Yeah.
what happened in my childhood that it caused me.
He's Mormon, that's why. Let's be real.
Hey, but there is a frugal lifestyle that's taught. So that's taught.
Well, and also that there's a blessing that comes to you. And so it's also the parable of the talents. It's about managing what's been given to you and not being wasteful of it.
Yeah, and there's a way. You can make it as spiritual as you want, right? But honestly, at the end of the day, for me,
there's got to be something.
I want to be self-reliant.
Okay.
I want to completely be. At some point, I want my children, which who knows when that'll happen, but my children to be able to go to the doctor, go do anything they want, and be able to not have to worry about money.
Yeah.
I don't want them to be spoiled. If it's something where they're going to. If they're 18 and they want to go to college, I'd love to be able to say, oh yeah, if you can get into Stanford or Harvard, I'll help you out.
Yeah.
Whether it's paying for them outright, which I have mixed feelings about that, but just to have the option so that I'm comfortable, they're comfortable. That's a big deal to me. And so for me, I never want to have any sort of debt. There's a difference with house debt, but anything else, I don't have any sort of debt.
Yeah.
And so it's just important to me to live a certain way. Plus, I really I know that I grew up in a pretty wealthy family, and I was blessed with a lot of things that other people didn't have. And so for me, I know that out of college, I didn't have any debt. Like I was luckier than most people. I didn't have any sort of debt. I had some money. So for me, like it's almost somewhat like proof that I can live a certain way by saying I'm going to live on minimum wage this year. Even though I make much more than that, I'm going to live on minimum wage.
Yeah.
Like because I want to show that like I can do this, and that even though I grew up in a different like household or different means, like I can make this thing work.
Okay.
And so I
that's good.
Even if it means being
that.
uncomfortable. Like I live in Portland and we did not turn on the heat more than 5 times the entire winter.
Dude, that's a lot. That's
freezing.
really.
You can see our breath in the morning.
That's crazy. Dude, that's humility. That's what I see from it.
No, that's extreme.
No,
that's super extreme.
But that's, to me, that's the definition of humility, because what you're really saying is I don't want to be better than anybody else. I don't want to think that I'm less than anybody else. I just want to be, I want to see myself as the same. And I want to prove that, hey, this is what life can be. And like, that's a very humble thing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I've thought about it as much like that, but
yeah, I like that.
But I am. I mean, I like going to a certain degree of like discomfort just to be able to live a
and
lifestyle.
look what I can do. I'm strong enough to do this.
Yeah.
And the one thing I'll say about saving money, even at a young age, what I talk about in homebuyer classes, because I do a budget thing, and I know everybody always thinks I'm judging them when I talk about budget, and I know we got to wrap it up. And maybe we can say it on the next one. Are we going to do one more?
Let's talk
we got
budget
a 3 and 3.
Yeah, let's talk
That's a
budget.
good idea.
Yep.
Boom, guys! If you guys want to learn about budget on the next one, look at
Yeah,
that
look
pretty
at this
face,
guy.
guys! Look at that pretty face.